guys, Preacher 357 here again, and I have got today a favorite of mine, a lever gun. This is the Henry Big Boy Steel in 357. My favorite cartridge, right? Shoots both 357 and 38 special, very important. It also shoots the 38 special, and it'll actually hold 11 rounds of 38 special, which makes this a high capacity assault lever gun, right? This makes this extremely dangerous. I mean, probably just taking this out of the safe, you know, I risk the slaughter of millions, right? It's just so dangerous. But it's a lever gun, right? It's something that's been around a long time. Obviously, this is not tactical. It was just me joking around about being an assault rifle. Not an assault rifle, but neither is an AR-15, right? An assault rifle has a definite definition, a very specific definition, and it has to be fully automatic, right? It has to be select fire. You have to be able to choose a fully automatic setting on it. And the ones that we purchase in the gun stores today are semi-auto only, so they are not assault rifles. An assault weapon is just a made-up term that doesn't even exist. It was just something made up because it sounds scary, right? But this is a pistol caliber, I guess you could call it a pistol caliber carbine as well. I think it's only a 16 or 18 inch barrel. Maybe it's an 18 inch barrel. Or is it a 20 inch barrel? I hadn't really ever thought about it. I just kind of bought it and shoot it and enjoy it, and never really thought about how long the barrel is on it. I'll let you know, because I'm really not sure. I'm going to have to look and find out exactly how long these barrels are on here. You think I could just look with all my vast experience and just tell exactly what that length is, but you know, afraid not. Looks longer than 16. I'm going to say it's either 18 or 20, but I'll let you know for sure. But this is a Henry, and Henry has been around for several years now. They're an extremely popular firearm. And normally what they started out with were these brass receivers, right? Those bright brass colored receivers, gold receivers, the golden boys as they're sometimes called. And those just never appealed to me. Now obviously they were going for that original Henry rifle look, which had that brass on it as well. And you know, I can appreciate that. Those are beautiful rifles, and you know, that brass receiver is beautiful in a way, but to me it's just a little gaudy for my taste, maybe. You know, I'm not trying to cast aspersions on anyone who enjoys that or likes it, because it's definitely a beautiful thing. It's just not my thing, right? It's not in accordance with my tastes. It's a little blingy. Is that a word? Blingy for me. I like the silver ones fairly well. The silver boys were a little bit better, but when they finally came out with these all steel blued guns, the Big Boy Steels, I don't remember how long ago that was now, that's when I really started taking notice and saying, you know, I wouldn't mind having one of those. Now the Henry rifles are patterned after the Marlins. I mean, this is essentially the action of a Marlin 336. They've copied the Marlin in their way of making their rifles. So it's very similar to the 336. Obviously, this is a pistol caliber carbine, which the Marlin pistol caliber carbine is the model 1894, which has a different bolt. It's a little bit different design. So, you know, if you get a Marlin in 357, it's going to be a little bit different than this. This is more like the 1895 or the 336 action, which are rifle caliber actions for the Marlin. But I really like this gun. I've always enjoyed this rifle. I mean, it's only got the buckhorns. I haven't put a Skinner sight or a peep sight or any other types of sights on it. But I don't know, this sight never gave me as much trouble as some of the others. The Marlin sights gave me a little bit more trouble. Now, I haven't shot this in a while, and my eyes are just steadily deteriorating, it seems like, so I may have some trouble today. But I've always been able to fairly well see these sights on this gun. And so I have not even thought about changing them out yet. But there is a few blemishes on it. I haven't kept it pristine. There's a little place right here in the wood where a lab mix of mine, when he was a puppy, saw me walking through the yard with my gun coming out here to shoot and decided he needed to come and bite it and try to take it away from me. So it gave it a little bit of character right there, right? And that's kind of what happens when you firearms. If you shoot them, they don't stay perfect. If you want a safe queen, you can always do that. There's some people who do that with some guns, and obviously some guns are so expensive you don't want to take them out and shoot them, and I can understand that. But generally speaking, I buy a gun to come out and shoot it. So why don't we do just a little bit of that? And I've got 38s loaded up in here right now, so let's see if I can hit anything with this right now. As I said, I hadn't shot this in a while. I hadn't even sighted it in, so I'm just kind of hoping it's, you know, shooting somewhere close to where it needs to be. But obviously with a rifle at these distances here, I should be able to hit, right? All right, let's see. You see it hang up a little bit there, which is what happens sometimes with the 38 special. It doesn't always feed as well as I'd like. And yeah, my eyesight has definitely gotten worse, because I'm having trouble seeing it compared to what I used to. I don't know if I can hit that or not. I can barely even see it. There it went. But not too bad. The little 3-inch plate gave me a little bit of problems, but it gives me problems with just about everything except that little Marlin 22. That thing is so easy to shoot. You can just pretty much just hit anything you want to with your eyes closed. It just shoots itself almost. But it's a nice gun. I really do enjoy this gun. There was one instance that I had with the rifle that was strange, and kind of worried me for a little bit. And I was out here shooting one day, and this has been a few years ago. I couldn't tell you exactly how long. And I was shooting 38s in it, and as I said, you know, the 38 sometimes likes to hang up in the action because they're a little shorter than the 357s. Sometimes they don't cycle as well, and one got hung up. And when I say hung up, I mean it got hung up really, really well. I couldn't put it in the chamber. I couldn't get it out of the chamber. It was about halfway in. The action was about halfway open. And I just couldn't do anything with it. And it stuck about like that right there. And I'm sitting here like this right here, tugging and fighting with it, trying my best to get it in, get it out, just get it somewhere. And I went to press it in again to try to get it in, and the gun went off with the action not even all the way closed. And the lever's still down like this. It actually went off, which I'm not going to say it scared me so much, but it definitely confused me. And I just kind of stood there perplexed for a little bit, and I have struggled to try to figure out how in the world exactly that happened. Thought maybe some debris had gotten behind the cartridge, you know, between it and the bolt maybe, and that was what was causing it to hang up. And when I pressed on it and tried to push it in, maybe it caused pressure on the primer, or maybe it was a high primer. I think they were hand loads. And maybe I had a primer that I didn't get seated all the way in, and that was what was causing the hang up in the first place, and that pressure caused the round to go off. But I don't know, but that's the only real issue I think I ever had with this gun. And I'm willing to say that it might have been my hand loading that caused the issue. I may not have gotten a primer seated all the way in, which happens sometimes when you're seating. I try to check every single one of them as I'm loading. Now I load fairly slow. I don't use a progressive, and I check every round usually to make sure that the primer is not sticking out proud. I run my finger across it, look at it usually before I throw it in the bin. But maybe I missed one, and I don't know. But that is something that did happen with it. But I still like the rifle. You know, I'm not going to blame the rifle. It's just one of those freak things that you never know what's going to happen. That's why you always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction, right? Because it went off, but it went off downrange. So, you know, nobody was endangered by that. So it's always very important that you do that. And that's why, because you never know what's going to happen. You think you understand how they work, and there's no way it could go off. But, you know, if there's a round anywhere near that chamber, you know, there's always that possibility. So let's load up a few more rounds. One thing about this is it loads from a tubular magazine, as all the Henrys did at one time, though they have come out with some now that that load from a side loading gate like a Marlin does. But this one does not. And I don't know if any of the big boy steels have the side loading gate now or not. I know some of the golden boys, some of the brass ones now do, like the 3030s, I believe, come with the side loading gate. And I mean, there's benefits to it, there's drawbacks to it. It's slower to reload. You can't reload on the fly. You can't throw another round or two in as you're walking around, right? You kind of got to stop and pull the rod out and load a bunch in and what have you. I mean, it's quick to load a whole bunch at one time, though. I mean, if you're not moving around at the time, you can load a bunch at one time, whereas if you're having to feed 10, 11 rounds into the side, it takes a little while. So there's pros and cons. One thing I do like about the new Henrys that are coming out with the side loading gate is they keep the tubular magazine with the rod in it just as well, so you can load through the front as well. So I think that was a neat idea. Maybe Marlin can actually copy Henry and do that as well. Tell Ruger that, right? Ruger's making the Marlins now. Ruger, do that. That's a good idea. And I do like that, but I don't have any of the Henrys yet that are like that, but maybe I'll have to look into finding one of them and testing it out, because I'd really like to get a Henry in 3030, because I really love the 3030 cartridge. But that is how you load these. There is no side loading gate on it. So let's throw a few of the 357s in here. I think it holds 10. Four, five. My kindergarten teacher would be very proud of me for being able to count. 6, I think, if I can keep track of it. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. My kindergarten teacher, Miss Wildy, would be very proud of me. I was very fond of her. One of my favorite teachers. All right, let's throw a little bit of the magnums downrange here and see if we hit fairly well with the magnums. Yeah, that one got hung up on me right there. There it goes. All right, let's try her a little bit here. Then I need to fling a few over there at the 80-yard plate too, since I got a rifle. A little more smack to it. A little more punch. It doesn't exactly hurt you. Let's see if I can get that little 3-inch. There we go. All right, I don't know how many I got left, but let's see if we can hit this plate over here at 80 yards. Maybe I can get the range on it. Well, or maybe not. I don't know where I'm going. That may have been it. No. I'm not sure where I'm going there. Let's load up a few more. Need to get the range on this plate over here. Shooting with a rifle, I better be able to hit it. Or I'll just have to turn in my man card. Because there's no way a real man cannot hit a plate at 80 yards with a rifle, right? Just be embarrassing. Just be embarrassing. Be lucky if my wife don't leave me. Well, one thing about the magazines like that I don't like is that your hands are out in front of the barrel. I know there's nothing in the chamber. I know nothing's been loaded, but still at the same time, it just, to get that thing turned and locked back in, you almost have to put your hand in front of the barrel, and that's just unnerving to me. Even though I know there's nothing in the chamber, it's still just one of those things that kind of irks you a little bit. All right, see if I can hit it with some 38s. I can figure out where to hold. I can't even see where if I'm hitting beside it or too high or too low. All right, there was that one. I thought I took the same hole there. Apparently didn't get one in the chamber. I wish I could see. Well, I didn't get that round extracted. We got a hang up. Got a hang up here. And I can honestly say that has never happened before. Never happened before. Huh. Yeah, round got stuck in the chamber. The extractor came off of it, didn't pull it out. Trying to feed another round right into the back of it. All right, let me try this again. Well, I believe I just knocked that off the chain. With a 38 special, no less. These are not wanting to feed. I think that was it. Yeah, that sucker is dangling now. Apparently, broke the chain. I know I heard a ding, so that chain must have been about to go anyway. All right, let's just load up another magazine's worth here, and I'll just shoot up here close. I may lob another one or two down there. Yeah, I can definitely tell since the last time I shot this that my eyesight has decreased somewhat. It's not as sharp as it was. Because it is hard to see that bead. It's got a nice brass bead front sight, but it's just a brass blur right now. So, I may have to look at going to something else with this as well. Let me try this one more time, see if I can figure this out. No. There it goes. And it's just a spinning round and round. All right, let's just shoot up here right now. Let's see where it's going on this plate here. Looks like it's going to the right, right? Yeah, that's when I started hitting it, when I was holding over to the left side. So apparently the sights need to be adjusted a little bit. But with these kind of sights here, adjusting for windage is not the simplest thing. That's what I like about those peep sights I put on there, or even those bright sights that I put on there, like I have on my Model 60. They're easily adjustable for windage and elevation. Now you can adjust elevation with this, but windage is a little bit harder. What in the world? And the same thing happened again. It didn't extract that round. Now this gun was completely clean. I cleaned them before I put them up. So I'm not sure why it's not feeding them. Of course, those are the 38s, and as I said, sometimes it doesn't feed the 38s very well, but it's doing sort of the same thing with the 357s. Oh, it would be when I get this gun out to do a video, I start having feeding issues that I've never had before in the years I've had this gun. Because I've had this gun probably 5 years. And other than that one instance that I had where that round went off, I'd never had another issue with this gun. Now, like I said, it would hang up a little bit with 38s, but I've never had it not extract the rounds. That's something completely new. Which when I'm done with this, I'll give this thing a nice thorough cleaning and scrubbing, but I'm not sure why those rounds are hanging up in there. All right, let's shoot one more tube of 357s, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. I think I've said enough. This is the tedious part of loading a lever gun, right? Or these kind here. Or even with the side loading gate. The initial loading is kind of slow if you're used to box magazines, right? Or even loading revolvers. You know, just loading 6 rounds in a cylinder is a whole lot simpler. And you can kind of see why we went to the box magazines, right? You can kind of see why we went to those detachable magazines. You can just pop one out and pop one in. Of course, loading those magazines takes a while too when you load those. But anyway, I would say I'd shoot that one down there one more time, but considering it's turned sideways, I'm not 22 Plinkster. You know, it'd be like splitting a playing card down there or something. And I'll leave that to the Plinkster. He's the master at that. But let's see if I can shoot a little bit down here. I think I missed that. That's bad. But shooting in a hurry, you don't let your sights get on the target and you pull the trigger anyway. And that's what happens. You miss. But I hit on the last round, and that's all that matters. That means I can bring this video to a close. So guys, I appreciate y'all coming out to see my Henry Big Boy Steel 357. Which, despite the issues I had today, I really like. I do enjoy this gun, and I'm going to figure out what's going on with it, and we'll get that rectified. But if I figure anything out, I'll let you guys know what's going on. But appreciate y'all coming out. God bless you. Y'all take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.